Welcome to this special edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience, episode 5 of UCE's Greatest Knockouts. Now, we've been knocking down all the best knockouts from years past. We're bringing back some of the old timers, some of the guys you've never seen before. But tonight, we're going to show you some of the fastest knockouts, the ones that are over faster than all 3 of my marriages. These things are over just like that. But you want to stick around because at the end of the show, you're going to see the most devastating knockout you've ever seen. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience, KO edition, coming right at you. Tonight, you're going to see a kid coming from Hawaii, Moroni Navarro. This kid came into town saying, you know what, I'm a cage fighter in Hawaii, and I could take anybody in Utah. And, well, Tim Wilde kind of took exception to that, and, well, you'll see what I'm talking about.
This should be a good one again. Tim Wilde will be out in just a minute, but his opponent tonight is Moroni Navarro, and if nothing else, he's got a great name.
He's got a great several names. This kid's got an actual Hawaiian name that was about 33 letters long. I could never even begin to pronounce it. He also goes by the Hilo Boy and the Warrior of Love, Tim.
5'10", 170 pounds. He's out of Pleasant Grove, and as he steps into the ring tonight, he is a newcomer, right? We haven't seen this guy before.
First time in the Ultimate Combat ring.
Getting ready for the fight here. So the Warrior of Love, I guess he thought sounded kind of nice, but kind of tough, just like Cupid carrying that bow and arrow around. And when you see him in his pre-fight interview, he is a nice guy.
Love. Run miles and just train boxing and Jiu Jitsu. Aloha. Woo!
Been smoking some of that Hilo something or another.
Not really an intimidation factor there, is there?
Nah, he's got a bit of an identity crisis, Tim. He's the Warrior of Love, and hopefully comes out as a warrior tonight, not a lover. He's going to need to bring his A game going up against a pretty tough kid, Tim Wilde.
Yeah, you want to talk about a guy that's intimidating. Just look at him, 5'11" and 170 pounds. As you mentioned earlier, he's from the Ogden Fighting Alliance, and he says with his recent losses, it inspired him to get back in the gym and work even harder.
Yeah, well, I've been real busy with work, stuff like that. Haven't been training a whole lot due to a few of my previous losses. Just been actually training and running a lot, trying to work on my conditioning. I've been training up at Global with Melendez and Burkman, and just trying to get back in shape. I'm feeling pretty good. Hopefully tonight I'll come out banging like I used to, and we'll have to see what happens. Just a whole lot of beating, getting beat on and giving it back, and just a whole lot of big hearts there and a lot of hard workers. So hopefully it's going to show tonight. Like I said, I'm just here to win. I got 3 consecutive losses. I'm pretty mad about that. I'm coming back. I won't sell for nothing less.
You know, Tim Wilde talks about having 3 consecutive losses, but that's because he's fought 3 consecutive pretty tough opponents. He travels, he goes to where the fights are at, and he's had some pretty tough competition. You may remember back, he was actually in the very first episode of the Ultimate Combat Experience. Lost his first fight because he broke his thumb, but he's been around a while. We haven't seen him in our show for a little bit.
Well, let's see if the Wild Man comes out wild, and he does, not only using those fists, but using the knees as well.
And another big knockout, Tim. That was another big right hand that sent somebody to the canvas. We've seen a lot of that tonight. This fight is over. Moroni Navarro ate a big right hand from Tim Wilde, and man, what's going on tonight? We've got some quick finishes to some pretty good fighters.
Well, and as you're about to see in the Crush Combat Cam, it wasn't just the right and left hands, it was those knees that also did some damage early.
The knees definitely set it up. See in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by the Keyhole. The knees did their damage, but it's the right hand that sent him to the canvas, and he was not getting up from that punch. Tim Wilde had another extra punch there at the end for good measure, although that wasn't an illegal shot, but Ethan Andrews had actually stopped the fight before that happened.
Well, nowhere near the toughest opponent he's had in a long time at Ultimate Combat, but I'll tell you what, after 3 consecutive losses, that's just what the doctor ordered. He's happy about it. There's your winner, Tim Wilde, and congratulations to get back on the W side.
Moroni Navarro found out the hard way. Be careful what you ask for. Some of these Utah guys can throw down, and now in your next fight, kind of the same thing here. We got a kid named James Gale that just didn't like Johnny Riche. He wanted to fight him so bad. Well, Once again, be careful what you ask for.
Well, Espinosa's already seen the wrecking ball tonight. I'm afraid James Gale may be standing right in the way of a freight train. Here, guys.
Well, James Gale actually wanted this fight. He called me up and said, I want Johnny Riche. I've been watching him over the past few rounds. I remember him from back when I was in the tournament, and I think I can beat this kid.
Well, be careful what you ask for. 5'7", 170 pounds, wrestler by trade out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Not all that imposing of a figure, but nonetheless, he wanted this fight. He's going to get it tonight. Let's see what he had to say leading up to the matchup with the little ball of hate.
I did request him. I wanted a challenge, and he's got 8-2 record from what I've watched. It's going to be a challenge. Not really. I'm just looking for a good match, and he's going to give it to me. I think we're great, paired up wise. Okay. Good size. Good. I'm self-trained. I just did a little bit of wrestling, practicing with my buddy Jeremy. He's taught me a lot, and that's about it. Let the best man win. Good luck.
This guy's really confident. I'm excited to see him come out and see what he does tonight.
Well, I wouldn't write him off just yet. We saw him back in round 1 or 2. I don't remember, but he put a nice arm lock on a kid named Jacksonville, who was a real physical-looking kid. He looked like he had a little bit of experience.
That's the second time tonight we've heard that let the best man win thing. Johnny, the little ball of hate, Riche, is back. He's up one weight class, and as you said last time, taking a little fun with him. It's the little beach ball of hate.
Yeah, well, you talk about a guy who's got experience. I don't think anybody's been in the ring of the Ultimate Combat more than Johnny, the big ball of hate, Riche, and he's done very well. He's lost 2 fights, but he's definitely won his fair share.
5'7", 170 pounds. He certainly hasn't lost support from the crowd as they all started cheering again for Johnny.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned, man. I don't have anything to hold me back this time. I went on a cruise, took a little vacation, gained a few pounds. I'm in that heavier weight class, but I'm kind of here to show these people and the guys in this weight class that there's a force to be reckoned with, and is Johnny Riche, the little ball of hate. Well, first off, I just have to say that there is some formidable competition in this middleweight class. Steve Sharp, obviously, as people know, that guy is the #1 gunner right now. He comes out bombing hard, similar to Robert Denzi, both tough kids, and hopefully I get a chance to fight Sharp because there's, obviously I love Robert, and he's a great kid, he's a great fighter, but he beat me, and I'd like to beat someone that he trains with, and it's just as tough as him. So hopefully I'll make it to that point. Yeah, hey James, I'm glad you called. I'm glad you're looking for a tough fighter, and you did that by giving me a call or giving Mike a call and letting him know that you're looking for someone to stomp you. And I hope that there's going to be a good fight tonight, but watch out, brother, because I'm coming, and I'm looking for you, man, so let's do it.
Well, it looks like Johnny's got his eyes set on Sharp. There should be nothing that should stop him. Johnny should, lead the competition.
You better be careful not to look past anybody when you step in here.
Steve Sharp isn't the only one in this division. There are a couple of speed bumps in the way there. I wouldn't be looking at Steve Sharp
James
yet.
Gale just did the knife down. He didn't like that.
He did, and look at the game face he's putting on him here. Kind of a war of facial expressions going on as Lonnie Foster gives him their last-minute instructions.
Well, they had the war of the stupid-looking hat earlier, and now that's the war of the stupid looks.
These guys look enough alike to be brothers, to be honest with you.
I think maybe James Gale's been sitting home practicing his Johnny Riche face.
Well, here we go. The brawls of fall, round number 1, the return of the little ball of hate. Comes out to look for a
ball of hate wants
touch
to touch
of the gloves,
and James Gale wasn't no part of it. And he's eating the gloves now.
No kidding. You don't want to touch the gloves? How about 2 or 3 shots to the head, and is this it?
That's it, man. All that talk, all that hype, all those long interviews, and 4 punches, and we're done.
Oh, my gosh, and that's all it was. I mean, literally, and 3 of those 4 went right to the chin. Johnny decides to take a little fall himself.
The Nestea plunge.
What's James saying? He wants to know.
He's just figuring it out now that the fight's over. He got his bell rung. He didn't know where he was.
Was I out?
I think he was saying that was fun.
Oh. Boy, that facial expression didn't look like a whole lot of fun there. Let's replay it for you, the herbalmuscle.com combat cam.
1, 2.
Here comes number 3.
3 and 4. Good night, James.
Yeah, it's he actually got a 5th one in there.
On the ground, too.
That 4th one really, and you'll see it again, watch, coming right there, was the one that did it.
That's when James went to sleep.
No, he went to sleep again right here. Bing.
Wow.
James is already asleep when he got that one.
So it didn't take long. Johnny Riche, just like Robert Densley, coming back with a vengeance inside the ropes tonight at Ultimate Combat. Wow. Hardly breaking a sweat again tonight. The little ball of hate, Johnny Riche, much to the enjoyment of this crowd that's gathered at DV8 tonight.
Well, he knows how to play the crowd for sure. Johnny Riche's a crowd favorite. Once again, the little ball of hate did what the little ball of hate does, and that's knock people out, especially guys that try to wear the same hat that he does. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some kickboxing knockouts. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. As promised, we're going to show some kickboxing knockouts. And, you know, these are all the old guys you saw kickboxing. Chago, The Saint, kickboxing knockouts. Check it out.
All right, let's see what we can find out about Bobby On.
Bobby On's an old-time martial artist. Said he used to take martial arts back in the day, and he's going through a midlife crisis. Said he wanted to see if he still had something to go in the ring with.
We got a lot of that lately, don't we?
Yeah.
He's 5'8", 170 pounds out of Salt Lake City. Comes in as an independent fighter, and let's see what he had to say getting back into the ring for the first time.
I've seen him on TV a couple of times, maybe one time, but he seemed like he's pretty good. Well, watch out for my punches, my kicks, and knock you out.
You know, my favorite thing about Bobby's entrance into the ring, it's always kind of like the Larry H. Miller shake. He comes in shaking. I love it.
His opponent is a guy we've seen plenty, Keith Semken.
It's the Saint, man. We used to call him the Mormon Marauder. This kid just came back from an LDS mission and hasn't stopped kicking butt since he got back.
6 foot 165. He trains down in Orem, Utah at Amy's Martial Arts, and he grabbed the red, white, and blue tonight to step into the ring.
I plan on using my attack with the kicks. I've also got a second trainer, so I'm working with my hands and learning how to bob and weave because that's what I need some help with. So, you know, if the guy's got some good throws, we're going to bob and weave and use a little bit more punching and a little bit more finesse.
You know, rumor on the street has it that Keith got some new Bruce Lee movies, so he's changing up his style.
I always kid him a little bit about those glasses. He likes to say it's his Clark Kent look. So here comes Superman. And, boy, you see Bobby really has to reach to get up to the chin of Keith Semken.
Bobby On coming out, though, and stepping right up to Keith. But you can see he's just overmatched here and gets knocked right on his butt there with a nice uppercut.
He's stumbling to get out of the way of that right hand, and now he needs a little adjustment to the headgear, not being ruled as a knockdown.
Should have been. I think he went down directly as a result of that uppercut. But Bobby On coming back as the aggressor again. You take a big shot like that, you think he'll be a little more tentative, but he's right in there battling it out.
Well, as long as Semken keeps his spacing, he's going to be just fine. And there he's down again. So one of these has got to be ruled a knockdown. I would think this one would be.
What's the height difference between these two? Is it a foot?
Looks like you got Hervé Velichez and
yeah, Bobby maybe want to work on the legs a little bit more, both with his punches and his kicks.
You know what, though? I've been pretty impressed with Bobby. I didn't think he'd last this long against the Saint. He's taking some shots now, though. I mean, you got to be looking at ending this thing. He's overmatched by a long shot here.
Semken's getting some kicks. Of course, he doesn't have to lift him too high to get to Bobby's head, but he's gotten some good kicks in there.
I think even Robert could kick that high.
And he comes around, luckily missed with that spinning back kick, but continues to be the aggressor. And he wanted to throw another one, but didn't quite set it up right.
Well, he missed because he threw it about a foot over Bobby On's head. He's not used to fighting guys that short.
I think Bobby's out of wind already.
I think Bobby would be able to kick Keith Semken if he got a stepladder, but that's about it. He's just too small.
Hey, give him all the credit for the heart, though. He came in there, and he hasn't stopped going after him, but I think we're going to end this fight.
Yeah.
And it's the right thing to do. Bobby on just overmatched a little bit here, but he's got the heart and the will, just maybe not the body to get it done.
Well, we always have our good share of fun here, but we always end it by saying give anybody credit that's willing to step inside the ropes for the Ultimate Combat tonight. And tonight, that guy is Bobby On, but his opponent tonight, the winner is Keith Semken. Mike, you know, the thing I've noticed is that they're all undefeated on the street. That's the story we get every time they come into the ring.
You know, Tim, I'm trying to find out where these guys are that they keep beating up, because all the guys in our tournament are undefeated on the street, and I don't know any of them who lose.
We don't give this guy real high marks for creativity with the nickname. The little ball of fury is Clifton Hampton.
And rumor has it the little ball of hate's not so happy about the knockoff here and says he wants to get in the ring with him next round and settle the score here.
5'7", 185 pounds. Let's see what he had to say going into tonight's matchup.
I've just been working out a lot, pounding the bags, the hard bags, and just been keeping myself in shape. I took Taekwondo for 2 years and wrestled in high school for all 4 years. I'm just thinking best of luck, best man win, man. That's it.
He doesn't have much to say.
He's a loss of words there, Robert.
Doesn't have much street talk in him, I guess.
He came in with some stars on the shorts.
Just blew Robert a kiss there, I think.
He went for the red, white, and blue headgear tonight. He's going to need all that help to take on the Red Devil, Jason Schultz, I'll tell you that.
Hey, this is a cool kid. He brought a whole bunch of people here to support him tonight. He's a construction worker, and the whole crew's out here giving him love and support tonight.
6'2", 185 pounds, a kickboxer out of Salt Lake City, and you can hear most of those friends and maybe even some family gathered just there ringside to cheer him on.
I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. I'm a true and true devil dog. Mean and tough, mostly street fighting. Learned some hand-to-hand when I was in the Marine Corps. Other than that, not much. I wish him the best of luck. I hope he guards himself.
I think Jason Schultz is going to lay a lick in here to the old street fighter unless he protects himself.
Well, they're both street fighters, so we'll see if one of these guys come out not undefeated anymore in their street fight career.
And sometimes when these kinds of matchups happen, we get some pretty unorthodox style, but we'll see what happens as we get underway. Right now, Clifton doing a lot of covering up.
Well, you can see some unorthodox style definitely right here in the onset. Clifton Hampton ducking and punching.
Yeah, he's using the wrong mentality. He's ducking and getting hit, not ducking and hitting.
Jason Schultz, by all accounts, just looking at it, should have a huge advantage height and reach-wise.
Yeah, he should get that front hand out there working his jab and establishing that distance so he can follow up with those bigger punches from behind.
So you look at Clifton, he puts a head down and just barrels forward, and if the fighter on the other side was a little better trained and ready, well,
Clifton Hampton got knocked down with a jab.
I was going to say that's what would happen. A little uppercut while the head's down, and this one might be over a whole lot quicker. Look at Clifton, says, I'm ready. I know I was down on the mat, but I'm ready to go.
He's ready to go again.
Boy. And Clifton steps inside, but boy, Jason not taking advantage of much of anything, throwing some punches.
You know, we're outdoors here and hope one of those big insects don't land on Clifton and knock him down again.
Watch out for the June bugs, huh? Oh, there's a left hand that stumbled in.
That knocked him.
Got to give the guys credit for getting inside the ropes here. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. This is finals night, and Clifton Hampton, he's bringing up one end of the bracket, and looks like he's done.
You know what? He felt that left hand, and Jason figures he's now king of the mountain. But Jason, you can tell, has got a long way to go if he's going to step in with a...
Fultz is in his corner. That's where he got the hurry and fall down.
With 16 weight classes, this is one of them that didn't have many people in the weight class. You see on your Mountain High Motorsports Combat Camp, the jab that rocks the world. I think an insect landed on Clifton and rocked him again, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, we apologize for making you watch that again in slow motion. Jason the Red Devil Schultz. He's got the look. He just needs a little bit more time in the training, I think. From the lightweights to the middleweights. We'll get to Juan Pollock here in just a minute, but his opponent tonight's going to be first up into the ring. It's Ty Fairborn.
Of the Fairborn brothers, his brother Tim's also one of our fighters. I think Ty's one of the mailmen, works with the postman and the gobbler over there at the United States Postal Service, delivering your mail.
5'11", 162 pounds. I don't know where these guys deliver mail, but with the exception of a couple of them, I'd be scared to death to see these guys coming up my sidewalk, to be honest with you.
Yeah, special delivery.
Let's see what Ty Fairborn had to say tonight.
Actually, I haven't been doing a whole lot. Hurt my foot that first fight, so just barely getting it back where I can walk normal again. Just go out there and see what I can do. Hopefully I can hang with him, because I know he's a good fighter. Just go out and see how well I can hang with him.
All right, well, he brought his necklace once again, guys, so excited about
I think it pretty much goes everywhere he goes.
That's the old ball and chain there, right?
Yeah, he's got the look of somebody who's tough enough. Let's see if Juan Pollock comes in. Boy, his corner people were real upset with him the last time because he was showboating quite a bit.
Juan Pollock likes the showboat, but he's got the talent. He's been in there, and again, we talked about this before. He gets better and better every time we see him in the ring.
5'10", 164, Chago training at the Ultimate Combat Training Center, and you're right about that. The reason he was showboating so much is because he had such an advantage over Calhoun. We'll see what kind of a matchup he's got tonight.
Just been jogging a lot. That's about it.
That's it? You and Jimmy?
Nah, Jimmy don't jog.
Jimmy don't jog?
Nope. I'm not thinking much, just facts. I know he's going down. That's it. I'm going to be there. I'm going to take him down. We need a new champion here. That's going to be me.
So the notorious Jimmy doesn't jog.
Jimmy, old Chago's corner man there.
Well, you know why if we get another shot of him in the corner.
I don't know if you guys want to make Jimmy mad.
No, we don't want to make him mad. We like the guy. It's just pretty obvious he doesn't get out and jog too much.
He doesn't do much jogging.
Boy, Chago coming in with right and left combinations, throwing a couple of kicks in there, and Fairborn not throwing any kicks. He's more of a boxer, it looks like.
You know, we remember the last time Chago fought, William Calhoun came out, and we felt like he punched himself out early, and it looks like Chago's trying to take a page out of his rule book. He should just relax a little bit and just kind of settle into the fight here.
Boy, just a second ago, Ty Fairborn walked right into the left hand of Chago, and now both of them, after that beginning flurry, decide to slow down a little bit, take a bit more time here.
William Calhoun showing me some pretty good stuff. He's his second time into the ring with us, and not a whole lot of experience, but looks like he's starting to pick things up a little bit.
He might have a bit of a reach advantage on Chago here. Ethan giving a bit of a warning to Ty. I'm not sure exactly for what, but
he may have a reach advantage. He's not really using it, though. You got to get that jab out there, establish your jab, and then throw punches behind it. But he seems to be content to throw hooks and uppercuts.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you're really going to work to your reach advantage, you'd be dancing a little bit toward the outside instead of coming in charging like that. Keep Chago at it.
Caught Chago with a nice right hand over the top, though, and heard the crowd roar about it a little bit. Chago likes to fake that right hand and then throw it. He fakes it and causes you to reflex, and then he'll throw it over the top.
There's a front push kick from Chago. Right to the side of the head. Look at that.
Nice round kick to the head, and he drops Ty Fairborn with a left hand to the side of the head. Yeah, it was.
I'd have to see that one on a replay. It didn't look like it was all that damaging, but looking at Ty Fairborn right now, it did have some impact on him.
I think the kick rocked him, and then the punch just finished him off.
He's done. Is he done?
That's too bad. It looked like it was going to be a pretty good matchup as it got started there.
Wow.
Crowd's booing.
He didn't look like he was, he was paying close attention to Ethan's count. Now our ringside medics are making sure he's okay. I'm interested to hear in the post-fight interviews exactly what happened there, but we'll see it on a replay on the Priority 1 Combat Cam. Some exchanges into the corner there, and here's that kick. Right to the side of the head, and Fairborn gets a pretty good right hand in there on the other side to counter punch, but bang, right there on the side of the head, Chago takes him down. And your winner again is Juan Chago Pollock.
All right, that's going to put a wrap on the Kickboxer. We'll check more of those out next week. But when we come back, we're going to see the People's Warrior, Josh Burkman, and Gideon Jarvis mix it up. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. As promised, the People's Warrior, Josh Burkman, a legend in MMA here in Utah, going up against a kid that many of you may not have heard of, but he has been one of my favorite fighters, the Whiskey Warrior, Gideon Jarvis, and you'll see why.
I know we've said it before, but they just don't get any tougher than this kid, Josh Burkman.
He is the People's Warrior, and he's definitely a crowd favorite. He's got a lot of people here supporting him tonight. And this kid's got the complete package. He's a wrestler, he's a puncher, he's a fighter. He's got an all-around fight game.
Didn't I hear he's also attempting or is going to play for the University of Utah football team this year?
I know he was an All-American in junior college and had some possibilities to go into the university. I'm not sure if that's actually going to come to fruition or not, but he's an excellent athlete. And you can see his T-shirt he had on there earlier. Custom Fit Nutrition is a proud sponsor of Josh Burkman here. So
turns to the crowd and says, "Give me the love."
We're going to talk about tonight. What are you going to do tonight?
I don't know. Usually I got a little bit of a game plan, but tonight I don't even know.
His opponent tonight is Gideon Jarvis, and the reason that Josh doesn't know is because we don't really know what to expect from this guy either.
Well, you never hear Josh be at a loss of words. That's the first time I've ever seen him not having anything to say. But Gideon Jarvis, again, we had a tough night at the Ultimate Combat tonight. We had a last-minute injury earlier in the fight, and then tonight one of our fighters had some legal problems, and the police showed up to look for him. He had to run out the back door. So Gideon Jarvis stepped up and took his place to fight Josh Burkman tonight.
Here's what we know about him. 5'10", and I didn't catch that. 180, I think?
180 pounds.
180 pounds, and you can see our referee for this one is going to be Jeremy Haskell.
Well, this takes a lot of guts. My hat's off to Gideon Jarvis to jump in. He knows everything about this kid, Josh Burkman. Josh is as tough as he gets. But he says, you know what, I'll get in and mix it up with him.
He didn't know enough to take his tennis shoes off before he got into the ring, however.
I think all those gym clothes there are borrowed and everything. He's in the ring, but man, my hat's off to this kid. This takes a lot of guts.
It takes a lot of guts for a trained fighter to get in here that's been working toward this fight against somebody like a Josh Burkman. So, yeah, you're right about that. He does stand in like he's ready to go and looks like a good fighter, so we'll see what happens here. But the crowd really happy that they got the opportunity to see Josh Burkman fight. Many of them came just for that tonight.
I would say about 50% of the people in this arena are here to see him, the other 50% to see Johnny Riche, so stick around for that one. And Gideon doing a good job of shooting in on Josh Burkman. Josh, as we talk about, nice hip mastery, gets his hips back and thwarts the attempted takedown.
Throws a knee there, but now just, well, and he's getting a little warning from Jeremy to stay off of the ropes there. But, yeah, Gideon's doing all he can to take him down, and Josh just isn't having anything to do with that.
Jarvis throws a nice punch as they broke there. And, again, Gideon come out to fight. He didn't come here to lay down for Josh Burkman. He came out to fight.
Although he lays down right there.
not by choice.
Yeah. With a little help.
Josh Burkman in a nice superior position here. He's got Gideon Jarvis's back. I'd like to see him do something. He's not even looking to choke him. He just wants to punish this kid. It looks like maybe he's mad because this kid come out and punched him a couple of times. So.
I guess so. He said, you really want to fight, then I'll fight. He's going to do it both, though. He'll get the chokehold
on there
and throw some punches.
You know, Josh Burkman doesn't get his hooks in behind there. He needs to learn how to do that. He's just throwing the choke on, and he's used to just muscling guys through. Doesn't work on this Gideon Jarvis kid. He's too tough for that.
Boy, now Gideon's taking face shot after face shot after face shot. He's lost his mouthpiece already, but somehow finds his way to his feet. Josh Burkman, though, doesn't give him time to breathe. He steps right back in to put the hold on one more time.
Hey, this kid is tough, man. I'm impressed with this guy. I'm going to have to go recruit this kid. Give him a little training, a little more notice. This kid's going to be a tough fighter.
You see the People's Warrior working his way around the back, now just throwing punches to the midsection here. You're right, he does look like he just wants to punish Gideon for stepping in here tonight, although he may be a little surprised that Gideon is putting up such a fight.
Well, you know, Josh has tried to put on a couple of submissions, and Gideon's actually gotten the better.
Man.
Ooh, big punch there. Gideon's in trouble there.
Gideon goes down and looked like he may have been on his way out, but Josh Burkman immediately jumps on top and just starts wailing away again with the right and the left hand.
But Gideon Jarvis, again, continuing to battle. He's not laying there taking these shots. He's actually trying to get out from underneath. I can see Jeremy Haskell looking real close here, though, as if Gideon Jarvis doesn't protect himself a little better, we're going to have to stop this fight.
And those aren't just rabbit punches, let me tell you that.
When Josh Burkman hits you, you know it. This kid has got a lot of upper body strength, and he knows how to use it.
Well, you talk about body strength. Gideon just continues to push, even though he's taken nothing but abuse here so far.
Oh, a great job. Going for the ankle, perfect. I mean, I really like what I'm seeing out of this kid. He's got a lot of great natural instincts, man. He could be a tough fighter if he continues with it.
Now again, Josh Burkman sees the opportunity to put it on.
I think he's got a tight chokehold on there. I don't think Gideon Jarvis is going to get out of this.
Well, he's got nowhere to go. He's wrapped up with the legs, plus he's got the chokehold, and there's the tap. So
Burkman needs to learn to arch his back on that, look up, and like you're squatting and just pull on the head there. But, hey, Gideon Jarvis, hats off to him. Great fight.
Boy, and you see him tap Burkman on the leg there and shake his hand before it's over. He did get bloodied up a little bit. You can tell he's a bit dazed from taking some pretty good punches, and then those chokeholds. There's the right hand.
That was that big right hand. Sent him to the canvas, and then Josh Burkman just gets on and finishes it.
Wow, there's a shot in slow motion, and watch him hit the mat here. Hats off again, though, to Gideon Jarvis for stepping in on a last-minute notice and taking on one of the toughest guys we've seen in this tournament anytime. Josh Burkman, the People's Warrior, will go home with another trophy tonight.
Well, Burkman's another one of those guys that's laid out the challenge.
We promised knockouts, but Burkman had to give a little extra choke in there just for good measure. When we come back, as promised, we're going to see who has the fastest knockout in UC history once and for all. Once and for all, we're going to settle the long debated issue of who's got the fastest knockout in UC history. Now, Marc Brewer and Jeremy Wilkerson are going to mix it up first. Then Eddie Pelczynski and Christian Gregerson. We're going to see who's got the fastest knockout once and for all.
no doubt about it. Both of these guys come in at least talking the talk, sounding fairly confident, and Marc Brewer is going to be the first one out, of course, with a Superman shirt.
The Bruiser, man, he doesn't really look to me like he's able to leap tall buildings or anything like that, Tim, but you never know. These guys come in all different shapes and sizes, and he might be pretty tough.
5'9", 174. He's from Springville, Utah. Lists himself as a kickboxer.
Well, I wrestled in high school, junior high. I've done some illegal street fighting, and this just looked like the best show in town. Got a lot of great athletes and a lot of great fighters. I want to see where I stand. Well, I'm not going to take him to the ground. He's welcome to shoot in on me, but I want to sit and trade fisticuffs. If he shoots in on me, he's going to get hurt, though. He better brought his A game tonight, because he's damn well going to need it.
Brewer better brought his road game tonight. He's going to need it.
Hey, careful now. I found the cure for male pattern baldness, by the way. Just shave it all off. There you go.
Tim, he was doing some of that illegal street fighting, man. I've heard a little bit about that stuff going on.
Is there legal street fighting?
I'm not sure I'm aware of any of that. But Jeremy Lucky J. Wilkerson, he wants to come here and claim the letter J out of the alphabet against Big J, Justin Wright. They decided if they ever do come to battle, the winner's going to be King J, and the other one's got to use the letter K or something.
He's going to have to win this one to get there. 6'1" and 168. He's from West Valley. Also listed as a street fighter, and he says he only practices legal street fighting.
Well, my last fight I came in, I wasn't really prepared. But I've been training ever since then with Donnie Rains, Mike Colby down at the Ultimate Combat Training Center, getting the ground game, and just going to go out there and fight. I'm just going to go with whatever he wants to do. Stand up, go down, whatever. I just want to make sure that people remember my name, Lucky J. He's going to be bruised up, not being Bruiser. Going to kick his ass.
Well, he's slick with the one-liner, Tim. He and Stephen Sharp, I think they really were the Backstreet Boys back in the day.
I'm kind of surprised he comes in with such cockiness after that outing with Will Tam, to be honest with you.
Well, he knows Will Tam is a class of the division. He doesn't know much about this Brewer kid. And Brewer's a first-timer. Once again, you just never know. These guys could be great. They could not be. You just never know in a first-time fighter.
Round one, Ethan Andrews sending him back into the depths of their corner, and we're underway. And oh, no, this can't be over.
That'll do it, Tim.
Look at Lucky J. You want to talk about a lucky shot, and this could well be a new Ultimate Combat Experience record for the quickest knockout ever.
Well, the bruiser's done been bruised.
And you see Lucky J, Jeremy Wilkerson, just bouncing around.
I want to sit and trade fisticuffs.
Those were the fists and the cuffs. Bruiser went down, and Lucky J's your winner. And maybe he will get a shot against Big J, Tim.
Yeah, well, shot's probably the best word, because you know that's the way that Justin would just as soon fight him. And so the battle for the J's may be coming somewhere down the road. This post-fight interview sponsored by our friends at Mountain High Motorsports.
All right, we're with Marc Brewer. Marc, undoubtedly so, that might be one of the fastest knockouts in Ultimate Combat history. What happened, man? What happened?
I went to tap gloves with him and got hit with a solid right hand, man. I came out to show some respect, and he knocked me out, man. Hats off to him.
Sometimes that happens in this. You know, there's been a couple times I went to touch gloves with the fighter, and some of these better guys can concur that. It's just a sign of respect to touch gloves. I didn't get to see it. I blinked, and it was over. Are you going to come back and fight again?
I'd love to come back and fight again.
Marc, I think you're good, but tonight you just weren't good enough, man. But thanks a lot.
Thanks, Richie.
I think you got yourself a man crush on Chuck Liddell. You talk about him a lot, but Eddie Pelczynski, this kid, man, he looks like a pretty tough kid. He might have been in a fight or two. What do you say, Phil?
Oh, this kid's definitely been in a few fights. But Mike, I'm telling you, you get the Chuck Liddell haircut, you get tap out short, you're world champion, guaranteed.
Oh, some guy on our forum got mad at us for saying that the other day. Eddie Pelczynski, 5'8", 155 pounds, good-looking kid. Now, his opponent has no fear, Phil.
Oh, I don't know too much about this Christian Gregerson kid, but he's getting in here. We'll see what happens.
Well, he's 5'11", has a bit of a reach advantage over his opponent at 155 pounds. An independent fighter, and these two are ready to rock and roll.
Well, they're ready to go, Mike. Let's see what happens here.
He says touch gloves, and they're wanting to touch gloves on each other's chin right there.
Let's get it on.
And right here, oh wow, Eddie Pelczynski knocking out Gregerson in 3 seconds, Phil.
Wow.
That is the fastest knockout I've ever seen.
It's the haircut, Mike.
It's the haircut. That's got to be a record, Phil. I'm guaranteeing you that is some sort of record. I've never seen a knockout happen faster. Eddie Pelczynski making his debut appearance here in the Ultimate Combat Experience. Let's see the Crush Combat Cam. 1, 2, blap, blap. He was done. That fight is over. He was out before he hit the ground. Pelczynski gave a couple more shots just for good measure, but that's going to do it for this one. And the introductions were much longer than the fight was. And we've shown the fight 5 times now.
Wow, Mike, that's not only speechless. Wow.
That's not only a UCE record, that's got to be a world record. There's nobody that's ever been knocked out faster than that, I guarantee it.
Wow.
Well, Phil is still speechless, and so am I. Well, Eddie Pelczynski's got plenty to say about it, I'm sure. Old Winsky here. Coming away with a big win, and I'm sure he'll be back just as soon as we can get him back. Well, there you have it. They were both 3 seconds, but we had to call NASA, bring in their top scientists to break it down to nanoseconds, and your winner is Eddie Pelczynski. Lucky Jay, you weren't so lucky tonight. Eddie Pelczynski's got the fastest KO in UC history. Okay, as promised, we're going to wrap the show tonight with one of the most devastating knockouts you've ever seen. Casey Beckstead and Ivan Taylor. Check it out.
What does it mean to you to be fighting tomorrow in the finals? And then also tell us why you think you're going to beat Ivan Terrible over here.
Because I'm leaner and I'm meaner and I'm a face kicker, not a kicker.
Ooh, okay. All right, Ivan, right there, you heard it. Ivan, now it's your turn to respond to that. We know that you've started a new training regimen and you've been winning. You've been beating people. You said that you kind of revolutionized what you're doing to train, and that meant you switched from Lay's potato chips to Pringles. So talk to the people why you think, what it means to you to be fighting tomorrow in the finals. Also, why are you going to beat Mr. Casey over here?
Well, I'm real excited I finally got to the finals. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I never felt I ever did what I can do, so basically when he goes to bed tonight, he's going to have nightmares about picking himself up off the mat tomorrow.
All right, well, you heard it right there. Both these guys talking a little smack, just the way we like it. The best of luck to both you guys tomorrow. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Well, if nothing else, Johnny Riche, we've got a couple of lightweights that know how to sling the smack in both Casey Beckstead and Ivan Taylor.
I sure do like Casey Beckstead's response. You know, this kid is a classic, Mike. He's just a grumpy, ornery kid.
Well, he comes from a grumpy, ornery group. You see those guys back there, Sean Riccadelli and Drew Ellisor. These guys used to train at my gym. They're a good bunch of guys, and they know kickboxing. Casey Beckstead comes in at 5'9", 135 pounds. He looks like a pretty stout 135-pounder, though.
No kidding. He is ripped. He's cut. He's in shape, and he's ready to add another win to his belt, Mike. We know that he does have one win under his belt so far, and he really wants to add another one to it.
I didn't know that Ivan used to play for the Raiders, but he's coming in a Raiders outfit here. Ivan Taylor, we've seen him. He's done kickboxing, he's done NHB, but he really had a big win leading up to the finals matchup here. Ivan goes 5'11", 140 pounds out of Riverton, and we all know him as Ivan the Terrible.
Ivan the Terrible. He's the one that knocked Adam the Postman Falcon out, which is something that we didn't expect. So Ivan's kind of gone above and beyond what we expected out of him in this tournament.
Well, you know, he expected to meet Adam in the finals of this tournament, and it just so worked out in the brackets that they met in the semifinals. But he shouldn't be overlooking this Casey Beckstead kid, because he also had a big victory leading up to the finals match, and you can see he's been working on his stare down as well.
Yeah, he's
crazy like that.
He's got the Lima Pule stare right there. His eyes are bugging out of his head. He's just ready to get this fight underway. Kickboxing is definitely one of these things, Mike, that we don't get to see a lot of. But this round, we've really seen more kickboxing than ever.
Not only have we seen more of it, we've seen some pretty good kickboxing. This Beckstead kid's pretty talented kid, and Ivan Taylor's really come of his own. He's come a long way since the early days.
One thing about watching these little guys fight, Mike, is they are not afraid to throw the leather, and they do land some big shots.
Ivan lands big shots, but he always throws those big looping punches, you know, and you can beat him to the punch if you just go straight down the pipe, and that looks like what Casey Beckstead has in store for him.
does Ivan have any kind of formal training? We always talk about how he says he doesn't have any formal training. Do we know, does he train Mike at a gym, or does he just roll around with his brothers up there in the Riverton?
Nope, he sure doesn't. They just train with each other.
Well, he's still a tough kid.
I liked in his interview how he said he was real excited. Like, I'm real excited about being in the finals.
I've been doing this for a long time, and this is actually his first appearance in the finals, going up against tough kid Casey Beckstead.
Oh my goodness, this fight is over. Ivan Taylor just took a right kick to the head, and Casey Beckstead, maybe a little foreshadowing in his pre-fight interview, said he's a face kicker, and he landed a big right foot there.
Wow, Mike, I imagine we're going to be using that footage for a time to come. That was one heck of a knockout, and hopefully Ivan Taylor's going to be okay, and I imagine that he is.
He will be, I'm sure, but you know, your body just goes limp when you get rocked like that, and you see the medics are in here really taking a close look at him. Looks like he's okay. He's getting up. Maybe he talked a little bit about his opponent getting up off the mat at the end of the day. And, boy, he's really got rocked. You see in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Mountain High Motorsports, where early on there were some good exchanges, but boy, Ivan Taylor just left his hands down and got cracked with a right foot.
Wow, KO City. Well, Ivan, man, I hope you got the smelling salts out and you're feeling a little bit better today, but that is a shot, and he is out.
Well, that's probably the most devastating knockout we've seen. And, you know, Casey Busta-Fatty Beckstead's feeling pretty good about that as well. He should. He's your lightweight kickboxing champion, and, boy, he's going to wear that with a badge of honor. That's going to put a wrap on the show tonight. Another great episode of great knockouts from UC history, and we're still digging through this stuff. We got a lot more coming at you next week. I want to give a big shout out to 399designs.com. Get your custom-made website for $399. You can't beat that. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience KO Edition. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Wow. I don't want any more of it, but he's back here and he's swinging. He's looking at, he's not hiding from anybody, but man, Johnny, he's just starting to get beat up on.
Yeah, he's just starting to get beat up, and you're right. I think Lonnie's got to take a look and say, hey, at this point, what happens now?
Well, I don't think
he's taking shot after shot.
We mentioned this before in past fights. I don't think people realize that Pocket Hercules is as good a boxer as he is. Brian Lopiccolo flush on the chin both times, and those definitely took their toll. Another right hand that sends Brian Lopiccolo to the mat. He's out. He's unconscious here. He's a tough kid. Whoa! James Cotrell just, wow.
That's it. Fight's over.
Wow.
He's out.
Johnny Moody's just waiting for a little bit of space to do that right there. He holds that clinch until he's ready to rock, and he pushes off and just starts throwing punches. That one's going to do it,
That's
Johnny.
it. That's it.
I'm not even talk to that guy. You know, he's probably talked to enough getting all those women.
His lips were sore. I don't know if it was from talking or what.
Oh, man, that's big Johnny Richie. There's not time for talking. This fight is already over.
Good thing.
You get maybe a little lackadaisical. Oh, my goodness, Johnny. He's over. This is over.
That's it. He's out. Wow. He doesn't know what's going on. He's unconscious.
That body shot.
Oh, that was a big kick.
That was a kick that really the knee landed, it seemed. And Ivan Taylor's in trouble. This fight might be over, Johnny.
Oh, one to the gut. One to the
baby. Landed nice and solid, and then a glancing right. But now a big right hand lands. And Johnny.
Oh, he's out. He's out.
Both these guys are feeling pretty confident. Just ducking the heads and going right there, I think.
Warriors for the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors for the ultimate fight.